this video, I'm going to show you how to ombre with the neon pigments, but not only that, we're going to use a nail art pen to create the flower of life. So first things first, you want to put 2 coats of gel polish on the natural nail. Obviously you need to put your base coat down first, cure each coat, and then when you've cured, you're going to do an ombre with these amazing pigments. I can't tell you how vibrant they are in real life. And they just sit in that inhibition layer on the gel polish. And you can see here, I actually applied the yellow. I took off any excess onto the paper towel off my brush, and now I am mixing or blending in the second colour. So I'm actually not coming straight in with the new colour. I actually drop that colour down just underneath, and then I take off the excess pigment and blend it back in so that I get that nice soft ombre. What you don't want to do is have a line. It's very important. Ombres mean fades and blends. They don't mean lines of colour. Okay, so try not to have any lines. Now with this particular design, it does not matter that the ombre goes from top to bottom. In fact, it looks great if you use maybe 2 or 3 colours that complement each other and that fade into each other, but go from side to side or from diagonal direction as well as top to bottom. So really play around with the contrasting pigments and complementing pigments and make sure that they blend really well. So you can see here I've got the yellow to orange to pink to purple. No blue, no green. Definitely they are not going to be mixing in with this now because it's not going to blend beautifully. So when you're done, you want to just lightly dust off the surface, and now we're going to prep it ready for our artwork. I'm using matte, and can you see I'm tipping the very end of the nails. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to protect that pigment layer. We're going to do some artwork, and that means we're going to apply top coat over the top. But this is a layer, because it's a matte top coat layer, we can actually draw over the top of this. And what it does is not only protects that pigment so it doesn't scratch, but it just gives us additional security against chipping. So here we go, I'm doing the second nail with that matte top coat. I'm going to cure this, and then we're just going to wipe off that sticky layer. You will see when you're using a matte top coat how amazing that finish is, so that you can come back in and use your brush to do this design, or like I'm doing here, the nail art pen. So we're going to actually use the nail art pen to do this particular look, but I want to show you first how to do the look on paper. The Flower of Life symbol, this whole neon festival collection, was inspired by Coldplay's album cover, and the symbol that they've got on it is actually called the Flower of Life, and that means that each of those petals are interlocked. So every single petal in that one flower actually is part of another flower, and it's meant to represent us. We are all interlinked in some way, and we all are joined by just a petal to each other. So really there should be love everywhere. So enough of the hippie stuff, let's get on with this. You can see I've drawn the basic flower, but now I've added an additional petal at the bottom, and now look how I'm linking these. Every single petal will literally link. You don't have to think too hard about this. All you've got to do is make sure that your flower has 5 petals and that each petal is linked. Now this isn't very neat because I'm just sketching this out on paper to show you. Don't panic too much about it being uber neat and uber symmetrical. It actually doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because you've got that neon pigment behind, which is ombre. That actually is going to take up a lot of the viewer's vision. So don't worry too much about the lines not being totally perfect, and I'm going to show you a cool way of cleaning them up in a second. So now what I've done is I've used the nail art pen to achieve this look. Ladies, gentlemen, if you don't have a nail art pen, don't think that you can't do this. This is quite achievable with a brush as well. The nail art pen, it's going to save you a bunch of time, and it's going to be so much easier to get the flow and the lines right. You can see here I'm just drawing on with the nail art pen and paint. Yes, the nail art pen is just for paint, not for gel paint. So you can only use the nail art pen with acrylic paint. So I'm covering the whole nail with the flower of life, and I'm interlocking each of those petals a little bit like I've just shown you. And you can see here I've overlaid a little image as well, that you can maybe screenshot this and then you can take that image and copy it out. I would definitely advise you do this on paper first, just to get that flower right, and then you can go in and do it on the nails. Really, this design did not take me very long to do on these nails. Because I'm using the nail art pen, it does make it go very, very quickly. The ombre is a super quick effect to achieve, and then obviously we're going to do the artwork over the top, and we're just repeating our design over and over again. So there's not a lot that we have to think about here. So before we top coat this design, I just want to give you one of my top tips. So not all the time can we make absolutely perfect lines, and if you're anything like me and my eyesight's not so great lately, you're going to get little snags in your lines. Don't worry, because remember when we placed that matte top coat down over the top of the pigment? Well, that does two things. Not only does it give us a brilliant surface to draw on, but you can come in with some monomer or 100% isopropyl alcohol, use a tiny detail brush and clean up those lines. The paint will come right off with a little bit of monomer or alcohol, like you've never made a mistake before. So once you've done that, let that surface of the nail dry, and then we can go in and top coat, and nobody will know the difference. Shh, it's our secret. So I'm going to top coat this, we're going to cure it, and that's it, folks. Seriously, it is that simple. I absolutely love this design, and as I said before, it was inspired by Coldplay's latest album, A Head Full of Dreams. I absolutely love the album, and I loved that album cover as well. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing your results online and on our Facebook page.